Folks, welcome back. Another video. I'm in the car. It's cold, it's snowy, but we're here, we're doing it. All right, today, short video. I want to talk about the collective and interests. And what do I mean by these? The collective. What is the collective? In summary, the collective is any group of people that do something for any type of reason. In other words, a group of people motivated by a certain emotion or desire or plan or belief to execute on a certain type of strategy. You might be asking, how does this apply to Pokemon, cardboard, so on and so forth? I'm going to summarize that for you. We have different groups of folks within this space, hobby, for those of you who prefer that term, who have different motivations. You have your scalper collective, your flipper. They are looking for quick tendies. They are the group who are out and about, looking for restocks, looking for spare products sitting in vending machines. And all they really want to do is get the product at MSRP, post it on Facebook Marketplace or their favorite marketplace online for a quick flip. Maybe that's 10% margin, maybe that's 20% margin. If it's a premium product, maybe it's 50% or 100%, depending on timing. Okay, so there's your scalper group. Then we have our collector group. This is a group of people who is out and about. They are looking to add things to their collection. They may be interested in hitting a restock or two, especially if there's a new product that they're interested in putting on their shelf and keeping long term. But they are not going to come and grab things and immediately flip them. They have a vision of the future. Maybe that's a 3 to 5 year to 10 year time horizon. They just don't plan on selling immediately. This is also the group who is more than likely going to card shows, looking for their favorite singles or slabs, and sealed, of course. And they are just looking to add to their personal collection. They may be looking to offload some things from their personal collection in the hopes of adding another item to their personal collection. So just moving money around. This happens oftentimes if your interests change or if you see a different angle for what you would like to add to your portfolio. And this group oftentimes, like I said, has a growth mindset and they plan to be in the space for an extended period of time, not just months. Then you have your last group. And there may be other groups. If you want to comment on what you feel in the comments, maybe I had missed, please feel free to do that. I appreciate all comments. But your last group is your players. This is the group of people who have probably been in the space for a long period of time. They don't care as much about what cards they get. Eye appeal is not of concern. In fact, eye appeal and card texturization is a negative or a con for these people, because when you're actually playing the board game, the TCG, or whatever else game you might be playing, having something that looks different from all of your other game pieces or cards is bad. You want items that all look the same. You don't want anything to stand out, because much like in poker, you don't want your opponent to know what you have in your hand. It's the group of people who end up going to pre-release events. They don't care about going to restocks. Some of them do like going to card shows because you can find nice deals on bulk items. You can find nice deals on playable cards. You can take place in being part of a collective, a group. Maybe your other fellow players are there at the show. And maybe some of these players also do enjoy the collecting portion of the hobby. Okay. So that's the collective. That is what I mean by the collective. Why is this important? One thing to note when you start looking at a certain space is, who are the players? What is making the market move within that space? In the Pokemon TCG collectible space, the groups that I just named are reasons why products move. They're reasons why prices change. Okay? The players are looking for the most playable cards. That's why sometimes you will see outliers in common playable EX cards or commons. These don't have to be alt arts. They don't have to be textured. They don't need to even be hollowed. These are just the best cards for play. Now, for people who are looking to make money, this is important because you need to know what to look for so that you can take advantage of this. Now, I'm not trying to say you should take advantage of other people just trying to enjoy the game. However, there is still plays to be made where you can make a decent chunk of change, and people don't often acknowledge this. Now, you might say I'm a bad guy for bringing this up, but the community's very own Danny Phantom has made videos like this in the past. And sorry guys, I had to move my phone. My arm is killing me. I just got my flu shot and my arm's killing me. So I'm resting my arm a little bit. But where I was going with that is you need to know where to look to know what will drive price movement. The collecting group. This is the group of people who are interested in liquid items. They're interested in building out sets, maybe master sets. They're interested in buying the highly sought after sealed products, booster boxes, Pokemon Center ETBs, premium collection boxes, super premiums, ultra premiums, yada, yada, yada. It's important to know that because more often than not, having those sealed items, keeping them in good condition and keeping them protected can often pay off for you because those will be the items sought after by the collector. They're looking for the unique, highly sought after species of Pokemon in PSA 10 in raw form and near mint cards and highly gradable cards. Okay, keep your cards in good condition. Penny sleeve, top loader, or one touch. Either one is okay. And then you have your scalpers. If you are someone who feels they have a decent group of people who they can rely on, that you can make it to restocks before these people, then you might be able to even flip to those people. It's not as frequent. Scalpers don't typically buy at a premium. However, that is a place where you can make some money. So, I bring all of this to you because it is important to know who is part of your space, who is part of the collective, where do the interests lie. In my opinion, the player base has grown probably at a slower clip than any of those two other groups over the past 24 months. The scalper group obviously exploded because they saw an angle for making money, flipping these products from MSRP to market. The collector group has grown because people have started to realize, okay, there is a significant group of people with large amounts of capital to deploy that also see that these are collectible items with long-term growth possibilities. And if I just stay the course, I have an edge in this market versus my traditional stock market, maybe a real estate market that is not as easily accessible because prices are so high. And so this is a group that has significantly grown in the past 24 months, but maybe not as fast as the scalper group, but at a faster clip than the player group. Some of those people who are interested in collecting have started to join the player group, which is why I think that has also started to tick up. With the rise of Pokemon Pocket on your phone, it's more easy to get out and play. And obviously all groups have grown over the past 24 months. Now, long-term mindset. Why is this important? It's important because these groups will likely only continue to grow over the next 24 to 36 months. 2 to 3 years for the folks who are not good at math. And why does that matter? Number one, for sealed products, for the items that are not going to be in print anymore in either the next 6 to 12 months or with the next block in the next 24 to 36 months, if you can start to build a position around these items, if the group of the collective will only continue to grow, which only makes sense because the population is only going to grow, and people see that this is a place where they can store their money, then it might be a good idea, if you are currently here, to start picking things up. Naturally, sealed makes the most sense because sealed products are a depreciating asset. There's going to be fewer and fewer of the sealed items as the years continue, and there's going to be more and more people joining the space, the collective. They're going to want your cards. They're going to want the items inside those sealed products. These are going to be appreciating assets in price and depreciating assets in quantity. That is a magic equation. You are going to want to pay attention to that equation. People still want to collect the PSA 10 versions of unique art. Once the products are out of print, there will be fewer of these hitting the market. There will still be a quantity increasing because people will continue to grade an open product. But it will be at a slower clip once those items are out of print, out of rotation. So that is one thing to keep in mind. They will go up, they will have the biggest movement, but they will not all be guaranteed winners like sealed product will. Keep that in mind if you're interested in starting to build a position. Now, shifting to interest, we're at the 13-minute mark of the video. This is going to be a very quick comment. Where is the interest in the market? Pokemon is king. We know that. Pokemon is number one. It has a 30-year track record of success. It is the top dog, the head honcho, the people who run the Pokemon company, the cabal. They got it down to a science. They know the magic equation to completely have consistent winners over 30 years is something that it's unheard of. It's almost impossible. Doesn't make sense. Magic hasn't been able to do that. The number 2 brand in the space. Now, where do I see some interest shifting? As people get into the space, the collective grows. That was point number 1. As the collective grows and interest change, people have started to put more emphasis on the artwork, the texture, the feel, the quality. People care about these things. This is what makes something collectible. Think artwork, traditional artwork. People cared about the quality, the look, the style, the feel, the group, the vibe. I am starting to see a very massive shift in One Piece. I'm late to the party, okay? I will be the first to admit I'm late to the party. The same groups of people, except the player base is actually significantly smaller for One Piece. It's more of a collector base and a flipper base and a scalper base. But I'm starting to see the creep towards One Piece. The quality is fantastic. The texture, fantastic. Artwork, fantastic. Manga, growing. Very popular already, but growing. My main concern with One Piece is the anime is ended. It's ending. Okay? I'm not an expert on this, so don't skewer me in the comments. But to my knowledge, One Piece is no longer making new anime. Now, they can continue making sets until the end of time. Pokemon could do the same thing because they can just come up with endless new art and new themes and new stuff. And that's obviously one area where it's a benefit. But I think One Piece has a bright future. Now, I don't want to come off as a copycat, and clearly, if you're in this space, you know Rudy has been actively talking about One Piece. I don't want to completely just rip off of Rudy, okay? But if we think about those two things, the collective interests, what people care about, One Piece has it going on. They got dope artwork. They have rare cards. They have expensive sealed product. And I still think it's somewhat early for that TCG. I still think there is room for Edge to get in early, to make nice investments. And if the collective continues to grow and the product goes out of print, becomes more scarce, that is a magic equation. Keep in mind the magic equation. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. Quick video. It ended up being a little bit longer than I thought it would be, but I thought those thoughts were important to get out to you all. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Do you agree? Is One Piece the next big TCG? Will it overtake Magic? You let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. Not last video, but the previous video, 2 videos ago, I announced the giveaway. It's in the title of the video. Check it out. I'll try and link it in the description. Shouldn't be too hard. I can do that for you. Like, comment, subscribe on that video. 500 subscriber giveaway. Free booster bundle of Prismatic Evolutions. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Drewski's Cards. Peace, love, happiness. Love you guys. Bye.